It was around this time last year when Savannah State made it clear it was a different football team under head coach Eric Rayburn. After being outscored 1,100 against their first two opponents, Georgia Southern and Southern Miss, the Tigers pulled out a stunning 16-13 win over Bethune-Cookman, which had finished tied for first in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference in 2015. It was the first of 3 wins for the Tigers, more than they had in the previous 3 seasons combined. But the Tigers' 2016 turnaround may not have unfolded that way, if not for winning their conference opener, said Rayburn, now in his second season leading the Tigers. You just hate to lose that first conference game and feel like you dug yourself a hole right off the bat, he said. You want to win them all, but it feels so much better when you can find a way to get that first one. Now Savannah State enters its 3rd game of the season in an almost identical situation as 2016, coming off road losses of 547 to Appalachian State and 563 to Montana. The Tigers play their home and conference opener against Florida, M12 at 6 p.m. Saturday at TA Wright Stadium. We had a bad start to the season last year with 2 pretty lopsided losses, and we were able to bounce back and get our first win in that 3rd week, Rayburn said. Hopefully, we'll find a way to do that again this week. So it changed from the first 2 games to the 3rd. Everyone's a little more comfortable in what they're doing, Rayburn said. Obviously, the first 2 teams we played were really talented teams. I think it was a combination of we cleaned things up, we corrected mistakes we made in the first 2 weeks, and we were able to play well enough to scratch out a win. Entering this week's game, the biggest area needing fine-tuning is penalties, Rayburn said. The Tigers had 14 of them for 116 yards against Montana and 9 for 104 yards against App State. The big thing offensively is the attention to detail, no false start penalties, getting everyone lined up correctly, he said. Just little things like that were just killing our momentum offensively. There were some positive things, he added, about the game at Montana. We had 186 yards rushing. That was negated by 8 sacks, and most of those sacks were a result of being in 3rd and really long because of penalties. We kept shooting ourselves in the foot. Rivalry brewing. The Tigers look at Florida, is the one that got away from last season. The Rattlers held on for a 19-14 win after Tigers quarterback T.J. Bell threw an interception in the red zone with less than 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. That would have given SSU a 20 start in the meac. The last time the Rattlers came to TA Wright Stadium, the Tigers walked off the field victorious 37-27 for their only win of the 2015 season, while also snapping a 24-game losing streak. We owe them from last year, SSU receiver Derek Kirkland said. They beat us in a close game. We threw an interception in the red zone. I think we could have won that game, so I feel like this is a vengeance game. Biggest thing last year was, we came out slow. They had us 197 at the beginning, so we had to come back. This time we just need to start the game off fast and finish it. Home at last. Savannah State has been through more road stress the first 2 weeks than what many teams experience in a season. After being displaced for 3 days at the University of North Georgia because of Hurricane Irma, logistics continued to be a problem for the Tigers on their trip to Montana. Their plane had to unexpectedly land before reaching their destination to refuel, causing a delay of almost 2 hours, Rayburn said. They also had to deal with their bus getting a flat tire while they were in Missoula. Not speaking for his players, Rayburn said he was happy he didn't have to worry about traveling this week. The Tigers are playing their first of 4 home games for 2017. It was a nightmare, he said. Just a pretty miserable week of travel. Pretty much anything that could go wrong went wrong. I probably handled it worse than my players did. They seemed to take it stride.